It's the NFL on EA Sports. And we've got the Bengals leader at quarterback. He had a solid performance a week ago, throwing for 3 touchdowns. It's the Bengals and the Titans, and it's coming up next on Madden Football.
It's dreary and miserable throughout much of the Midwest, but don't fear, we've got football to perk up our spirits as we join you from Paycor Stadium in Cincinnati, Ohio. Today, it's week 4, and we've got what should be a great one here between the Tennessee Titans and the Cincinnati Bengals. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and CD, you look at our quarterback matchup in this ball game, that's where the focus naturally gravitates, and I think we have a fairly interesting one here.
We do indeed, and something I'm going to be watching for. Who can get off to a fast start? If you can go out, get points on the first drive, preferably a touchdown, you can really set the tone for the game. And I think that both of these quarterbacks are more than capable of doing just that. Versus 0-3. Will current form hold? We'll find out as we're off in week 4. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Titans now for their first drive. And at quarterback from the University of Oregon, it's Justin Herbert. And it's funny how we always talk about how analytics are starting to creep into the game. One analytic that's been there for a long time, teams that start 0-3 usually don't make the playoffs. So we know one quarterback today that's determined to end that slide right now. It's not impossible, but this is a must-win for him and his team.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Now the first carry for an Ohio native. It's Ezekiel Elliott. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. Now this defense for the Bengals, they were fantastic a week ago in that win over Houston.
And the big difference in the ball game, their ability to force turnovers, 3 of them in fact. Being able to take the ball away, give it back to their offense, that's something that's emphasized each and every week, and they carried it out.
And not much room to speak of. We'll get about 3 up to the 41. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not getting the first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there that brings up 4th. Wishnowski on to punt as he sends this one away. Williams loses the football.
And that's what friends are for.
As the returner, you know who you're buying dinner for later.
Oh, without a doubt, because he just took care of you and your team in a big way. You know, you turned it over there. That's a big momentum changer and put your defense in a bad spot.
Here come the Bengals now to take over. And leading them out, their signal caller, now in his 4th season in the NFL. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. The numbers for him from a week ago, a boatload of carries, 84 yards.
Well, to no one's surprise, he gets an early rep right there, and they've been playing their best ball this season as they built this winning streak. And that includes the ground game, where he's kept the offense productive and put them in position to win ball games. The question now is, can this defense that he's facing do what others haven't and finally put a stop to this streak?
On the ground, it's Thomas. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a Bengal first down, a pickup of 11.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight-ahead running
I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid gain.
And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds.
The Bengals at 3-0 here in the month of September. And they coming on a pretty good roll here. Winners of 3 straight.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
This is Thomas. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 7 yards there and a first down.
Now that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork, and add in a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up first downs.
They go play action here on first down. Looking left side, and it's complete.
And he's brought down here just outside of the 20. Pretty solid opening drive here, Charles. They've worked in the run game, the pass game, just steadily getting yards, and now they've got it inside the red zone here with an opportunity.
And the only thing they don't have so far is points. But the way that they're moving the ball now, that shouldn't take much longer. And they've established a great balance so far. Running, passing, doing what they want on offense.
No gain on the play there, second down.
And that run was memorable for only one reason. There's absolutely no place to run with the football. No gaps, no creases, no gain.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Quick hitter here, it's complete.
And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on, because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Well, no question, this is exactly how they wanted to start this football game. And nice pass there. Now they're set up beautifully, Charles, to finish this off with a touchdown.
Yeah, but they've still got to finish it off, partner, and that means they've got to execute at this stage of the field. So we've seen many teams march it right to the goal line and not cash in. They've got something dialed up here that puts it in the end zone.
They run with Thomas. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
Maybe I'm wrong, but it looked like even if he had opted to keep that, I don't think there was going to be much to gain.
Seemed like it was perfectly defense. And know what they say? Those guys on the other side, they get paid too.
Nothing on first down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, 2nd and goal. Now Thomas. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3.
That run didn't get very far, and I think when you're looking at his dimensions, he's a little bit on the smaller side. He's counting on the big guys up front to escort him in, and they couldn't create any kind of space for him, could they?
Yeah, didn't get the push they need.
Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted. And the Titans are going to take over at their own 28-yard line.
Definitely not the ideal time to see that mistake, partner, because this is still a one-possession game, and that's at least a field goal that just vanished with that turnover. Now, pressure's on defensively to prevent that pick from turning into points for the other side.
After the turnover, here's Herbert. He'll let this go deep for Sutton. And that's caught inside the 30.
And they're going to move it down to inside the 25. Well, he's been doing this for a lot of years. The arm strength still there, and he showed it off on that one.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Inside, get him to Elliott. And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
On 2nd and 9.
Herbert. And that is going to be incomplete as he let him a bit too much.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
2 yards on the pickup there. And that'll bring up 4th down. Now Zane Gonzalez for the field goal try. From the right hash, it's a 38-yard attempt. Gonzalez's kick is good. And the Titans hit the scoreboard first. It's 3-0.
So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
Cincinnati coming back onto the field here for their second drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
And room to run as he's up past the 35-yard line. A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. They'll keep it on the ground. Thomas. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. After 1 on EA Sports. Ready for the second quarter from Cincinnati. It's the Bengals with the football here, as they've got it with a 1st and 10. They'll try the left side. It's Thomas, and he's taken down at the 50 after a short gain of 2.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Now 3rd down is looming. A pickup of 2 on 1st down and just 1 yard there.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature and make sure you don't get hurt.
A gain of 22.
Well, a lot of times when you get a manageable 3rd down situation like this, you have to think about your tight end, and he comes through for picking up the 1st down.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Thomas. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. They tried to get the edge there, no edge to be found.
Yeah, and when you're trying to set the edge, trying to control either the defensive end or the outside linebacker, if you don't, that allows the defense to string a play out all the way to the sideline. And know the sideline gives you as a defender? An extra guy. You go from playing with 11 to playing with 12, and it worked out well for the defense there.
2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a 1st down.
He's got a man. It's his tight end. That's complete. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
On 1st down, Thomas. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13.
Odafe Oweh there on the tackle.
Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense The next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10.
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw him for a loss.
On 3rd down, Thomas. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. A great effort there.
With his 4th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Bengals have moved out in front.
Great call to hand that one off, and his running back did the rest.
Someone read their keys correctly, and on the defensive side of the ball, they certainly did not, because they really essentially were just going to swarm the quarterback. They kind of guessed themselves out of the play, and guess who benefited? The guy with the football.
And this is no good. He missed it. Not a good start here in the kicking department, as this remains a 6-3 score. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off.
This is taken just shy of the 10. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, called it the 21.
And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. The run by Elliott, a good one on 1st down as he's able to pick up about 6 there.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
From the 27, Herbert.
He's got Otten.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a 1st down.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Up the middle, here's Elliott. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
On 2nd down, Elliott once more.
And he'll take this one for about 4 up to the 40.
2 straight 4-yard runs, and it is steadily working the ball downfield. To me, they're staying right on schedule. 1st down, you want 4 yards or more to set up the rest of the drive. They're getting exactly that.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the 1st here.
They'll try and run for it with Elliott.
And this is going to be a Titans 1st down as he's got this up to the 45-yard line.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the 1st down.
A 1st down carry by Elliott. And across midfield he goes and into Bengal territory. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game, because that was his longest run of this contest.
10th carry now for Elliott. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. He really hasn't been able to get on track running the football, averaging less than 4 yards a carry.
Yeah, I think that they're going to enjoy the film session because all the defenders are filling their proper gaps on just about every play. And you know what they always say for a defensive coach? When I click off this film, I better see 11 jerseys in the picture going after the ball carrier.
And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. The give is to Elliott. And he's going to be down at the 35. Gain of 7.
43 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. They'll try the air now with Herbert. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
They've been playing sound fundamental defense thus far and able to keep this offense from creating a major dent on the scoreboard.
Able to force the incompletion, but still waiting for that game-changing play. You feel like it's coming, the first sack, the first turnover.
In a sense, they're playing old school defense.
Herbert has it knocked free, and the Bengals grab it. Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. And this is taken into the end zone. A fumble recovery and a Cincinnati touchdown. It gives some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice you're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever?
Extra point try now for Patterson.
And again, it's no good. A few boo birds coming out as he's missed his second extra point here in the first half. So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score.
Pulls it in at the 13th. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Tennessee offense set to go again.
It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
Herbert on first down now. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and it'll be second down. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game watching this offensive line because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
First down now, but the clock continues to move. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the former first-rounder, Jimmy Ward. Oh, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
The Bengals drive about to get going.
And with a little under a minute to go, still time to try to put a drive together to add to their lead, should they so.
And he fires one that's intercepted.
Ooh, the juke. And the Titans are going to take possession of the football.
So first thing that crosses my mind is why didn't they just sit on the lead and take it to the locker room? They're in good shape.
Absolutely. And from this spot on the field, now you've given the other side a chance for points here going into intermission.
Yeah, you changed the momentum of the game, and it's something you did not need to do.
Draw play, Elliott. And he is going to lose yardage here. The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Justin Herbert looking to pass. Looking for a slot man, and he's got him. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. They haven't made much of this great starting field position they had. Here's 3rd and 6. From the shotgun, here's Herbert. And that is incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6.
And he'll try and throw here on the fake.
Pass complete. Now race for the marker.
And they're able to pick up the first and keep possession. Now Tennessee going to use the second of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10.
Here's Herbert. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now just under 30 seconds to go in this first half.
Well, this is a half where not just the coverage, but the entire defense is setting the tone in this game.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now it's Herbert. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. A good display of footwork. It gets him just inside the 5 to the 4. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. Again, Herbert. Got a man, and it's taken in for a Titans touchdown.
Mike Williams.
As the first half is winding down.
And the Titans are able to cut into this lead in the final seconds of the first half.
A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good. And the lead is down to 2.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive.
And with a 2-point lead in hand,
it puts it on the carpet. It's out. It's picked up by the Titans. And they will take over. 29-yard line.
I don't care what the scoreboard says, partner. You know who's winning this game right now?
Mother Nature?
Yes, indeed. Precipitation's winning in a big way. Sloppy, sloppy. All these turnovers right now.
Forecast, we got what was forecasted, and we've gotten a lot of turnovers. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. Made his first. This now from 46 yards away.
Gonzalez's kick is good.
And they take the lead out in front at 13-12.
So they get the turnover in plus territory. The drive stalls out, but still able to get 3 out of that.
Yeah, we were able to see an offense and a defense kind of mix and match with each other, didn't we? Both of them trying to make sure that they have the upper hand and the advantage. Offense trying to get to the end zone. Defense, of course, trying to hold them to a field goal attempt. And it wasn't a guaranteed lock 3 from where they started.
All right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
And the Bengal offense ready to go here to start the third quarter. But, Charles, we saw a pretty entertaining first half, close ball game. Remember there toward the end of the second quarter, the opposition scored to take the lead. Now we'll see if these guys can get a score of their own to regain that lead.
Yeah, they want to have that type of a response, don't they? Because they want to find a way to take control of this ball game one more time. Gauntlet's been thrown down. They want to see if they're ready to answer it.
And a short pickup to about the 27. It'll be second down.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. It's Nakobe Dean with a pick. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Now, the offense, they had really not been able to mount anything yet on that drive, and the defense made sure they couldn't mount anything. The interception and the return adding 6 to the scoreboard.
And that's no small return for a linebacker partner. He took matters into his own hands and his legs on that pick. And once he had it, I don't think anyone on the field could have stopped him.
And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. The Bengals offense returns to the field.
And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35.
72 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down.
And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, 2nd down.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Thomas, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They give those 2 yards right back, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 10.
Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the 1st down and move the chains.
Being chased out left. And he's got Hurst, his tight end. And he is going to have a Bengals 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
But normally you see 3 tight ends in a formation, you have to think to yourself, this has got to be a run. And I know as a safety, when I saw that, I took an extra step or 2 towards the line of scrimmage. Instead, they threw the ball, and he found one of those tight ends for a very nice pickup.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
And when you get good yardage like that on 1st down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, and now they go from 2nd and 2 to a tough 3rd and 4. Now back to throw. Looking middle, and that's complete.
And he is going to have a Bengals 1st down as he'll be marked down a yard or 2 past the marker following a gain of 6.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the 1st down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
And they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll run on 1st down. It's Thomas. And he's got room. That good for 19 and a 1st down.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Steps away. And that is incomplete.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
On 2nd down, it's Thomas, and he's able to get this inside the 10 now to the 9. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the 1st.
third down. Thomas. And oh, he's just going to be short here, barely. Maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches. He handed it off there, but I don't really know if he would have kept it or tried to do anything else if it would have mattered.
Yeah, it's not always a wrong read when a play gets stacked up. Sometimes they're just at the line of scrimmage with just too many bodies to maneuver.
And as a result, now they're looking at a 4th down. They'll go with a keeper. And he'll be touchdown here, but not before he does pick up the first. They only needed a few inches, and they didn't get much more than that, but by about the width of a shoelace, they convert on 4th down. On first down, Thomas. And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score one touchdown,
you're
without a doubt. And so far today, he's got one, but was denied as he tried to get the second.
And he takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Bengals. A great play there. His second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Bengals have come back to make it a 2-point game. So they brought the extra bulk in down on the 1-yard line, and they're able to push this one across.
Yeah, I can just see your face right now because I know we're mind-melding on this one. Coach Madden would love this. Power football, hat on a hat, chest to chest, driving forward, touchdown.
Right side. And he's got it. So they went ahead and went for 2 to tie the game. It works out. Fitting for what's been a tight ball game. We're all even at 20 now as the kick's away. This is taken just shy of the 10. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. Here's Tennessee ready to begin this drive offensively. And their lead has evaporated in this third quarter. It's tied once more as they begin with a 1st and 10. Herbert. This one taken in by Otten. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a second and just a few inches left.
How about the timing on that one? Boy, they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, balls out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
On second and very short. Herbert on the slant, completes to Sutton. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion.
From the shotgun, a give to Elliott. Oh, he faked it with a juke. Now he's got some room. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. 73 yards rushing now for Zeke, and he's got a 1st down.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They go back to Elliott. He's been busy. And an excellent job of finding the opening as he's got this now all the way down to the 22. That one good for a pickup of 15 for Tennessee.
A good run there off right tackle in an old school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. That reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009-2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
Brought down that time by Quay Walker. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
It'll be a loss of 2, maybe 3 on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11. as they come to the line. They will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Cincinnati. All even as we get ready to start the fourth. The Titans on third down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 11. Herbert now.
That one thrown away from the pocket. Officials kind of looking at each other, but they'll say there was a receiver in the area, so no penalty, just an incomplete pass.
And they have taken the lead here in the fourth quarter. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback.
Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here.
And now they find themselves trailing following the field goal. Still a good amount of time in this fourth quarter, but this drive very well could determine the outcome of this ball game.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Thomas, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 3rd and 15 coming up after that loss of 2.
Tall task ahead of him here, needing a full 15 yards to move the chains.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that is taken in by Hurst. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. Boy, a nice play there as they wind up converting on 3rd and 15.
I'll tell you, far from ideal conditions to play in, but neither offense has had much trouble. Plenty of points to go around. 1st and 10.
Up the middle they go. It's Thomas. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Hopkins. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Titans' 44-yard line. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another 1st. So operating from Tennessee territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. They'll run on 1st down. It's Thomas. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked out before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. He'll look to throw. And a quick throw here that's complete.
And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Back to throw here. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
Picked off by Julian Blackmon.
Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
There to stop him, Shaquille Leonard, the linebacker.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Again, it's Elliott. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead, positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
And a nickel look here for the Bengals as they try to defend this on 3rd. Back to throw here pressure. Gets him that time. Down he goes. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. On now is the Titans punter as he'll punt it away for the second time. Here's Williams to return. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time.
And the Bengals take over 1st and 10. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a fourth quarter lead.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And that's going to be too high. Out of bounds and incomplete.
We've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down, then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And I don't think he got there, no. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on 4th. Only needed a few inches to pick it up and get behind your center and burrow forward like he did.
And remember what the GMs have told us? We build an offensive line starting with our center, the guy who can make all the line calls and also move those big defensive tackles in order to pick up first downs.
So the completion good for 6 yards, and it's 2nd down. Looking to throw. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Trying to erase that deficit all at once. One big shot. He took it. Unfortunately for him, incomplete.
This a big play for both sides. What will we see here? 3rd and 4. He'll drop to throw. That's the tight end, Hurst, with it.
And he is going to have a Bengals first down by about 3 yards or so as they wind up getting 7 there on 3rd and 4.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Give him 32 yards as we inch our way to the 2-minute warning.
Well, this is where an offense needs to show what it's made of, and in fact, where a quarterback needs to show what he's made of, trying to engineer a fourth quarter comeback, and he hits a big one right there.
Now a play fake here on 1st down.
And that is incomplete. Now the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
That's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
Back to throw. On the move to his left. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
back-to-back incompletions, but we know this is definitely 4-down territory. Time not on their side. I don't think they want to try and get the first down in 2 installments. I think they got to go and get it right here, right now.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. He'll look to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And they'll get to him short of the first down at about the 16. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. And the drive stays in motion with a nice 8-yard pickup on 4th. I tell you, it has not been his best day throwing the football. He really needs to piece something together here.
All will be forgiven if he leads them into the end zone.
Oh, no, he lost the football. And the offense will get this one back. Boy, that could have been catastrophic at this late stage of the game, but they avoid disaster. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game.
Very fortunate to get another shot. Here's 2nd and goal.
Now a handoff up the middle. Thomas. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play. 3rd and goal. Back to throw. Buying time to his left. He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the 4th.
Wow, wow.
What a game this has been, and what a drive that was, Charles, to take the lead here late in the 4th quarter.
And partner, that's a job well done by everyone, from the players to the guys calling the plays. And if I may introduce just one downside to the mix, might be a little bit too much time left. Enough on the clock for a final last-ditch effort to try and steal this win away.
3rd time's the charm on the extra point as he gets this one to go. And that will make this a 4-point game.
And Patterson back out there to send this one away. Taken from about the 12. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
So now the Titans down on the scoreboard. A little over 40 seconds to go. A 4th straight defeat looming on the horizon, barring a comeback here as they've got it with a first down.
Herbert. That's complete to Otten.
And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game.
Now Herbert.
Quick hitter here, it's complete.
And he'll be taken down after a gain of 8, and defensively they'll say you can have that. Herbert to throw. Quick slant to Otten. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43.
Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go.
Let's go.
Herbert gonna throw.
He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. A really nice knockdown. He has so much pressure in these situations on defensive backs. What are they taught?
Play the ball, not the man, because if you have a pass interference penalty in this spot, boy, oh boy, you put your team in a bad place.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Throwing, Herbert.
He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock. Down to their last chance now. This is going to have to be a heave from the end zone and just hope for a miracle.
And I don't sit back with everyone back defending. I've got to have somebody rushing the quarterback. Don't make it easy for him to set up and throw the ball all the way downfield.
Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line.
What a game we were treated to in this one. And on that final play, they had a chance. They had the ball just beyond midfield for one final shot, but couldn't get it done, and they suffered the loss.
Yeah, and you mentioned how they had a chance on that final play, and getting it to midfield gave them that opportunity, hoping they could find their way to the end zone and make that miracle happen. A really good ending to an entertaining contest, though.
So for Cincinnati, hey, they finish a perfect month of September as they move to 4-0 on the new campaign. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Indianapolis Colts. Meanwhile, for Tennessee, they'll sink now to 0-4. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to Houston to take on the Texans.